It's happened again. A Killeen woman was getting evicted after being hit with nearly $1,300 in fees by her landlord. But after 6 News got involved and the tenant got legal assistance, the landlord dismissed the case. 6 News reporter Andrew Moore is here in studio to tell us exactly what happened here with this case. Andrew?
Melissa Scotting and Joanna Rivera were getting evicted after, as their landlord claimed, they still owed rent and they had an extra tenant on the property. Rivera has already paid her normal rent amount and says there was no other person living there. But when the women walked into JP court with their attorney today to fight the eviction, the landlord's representatives suddenly asked to dismiss their own case.
We didn't even get to say our word. They just dismissed the case as soon as we walk into the courtroom.
Joanna Rivera rents a mobile home from Clear Creek Rentals. Late last month, they suddenly got fined nearly $1,000 for having an unauthorized pet on the property and another $300 for allegedly having another tenant. Rivera already told 6 News that person was only a babysitter.
She just come to the house to take care of the kids.
But there is a $1,000 fine on their lease for any unauthorized pet. The rent listed on their lease is only $800, but the women were now facing more than $2,000 in rents and fees in total. So 6 News helped connect Rivera and Scotting with Lone Star Legal Aid. Attorney Bertie Jones prepared a defense for the tenants, and they were ready to go as they stepped into court.
I thought it was gonna be a whole argument in there.
But in the end, those arguments were never used in court because the landlord dismissed their case right away. Rivera says either way, she is grateful to Lone Star Legal Aid for their help. She hopes to get out of that lease by the end of the month.
Oh yes, I'm trying to move out as soon as possible, hopefully with no penalties, because I'm gonna break the lease, but I don't want to stay in there no more.
And 6 News reached out to Clear Creek Rentals today in multiple ways to find out if the tenants could simply break their lease. In this case, we did not hear back. Rivera is very thankful, though, that she is not being evicted today. Now she has more time to figure out her next steps.
Her warranty company just wouldn't approve it. 6 News got involved and they replaced her unit in just 4 days. 6 News reporter Andrew Moore is here to tell us how this all came together. Andrew, this is not the time of year to be without AC.
Yeah, Katrina Jackson works from home, but she also homeschools her 13-year-old daughter who has cerebral palsy. Her AC went out on July 14th, but a month later, there was still no repair in sight, and they had to stay with family. They contacted us last week. We contacted the company, kept following up. Now the unit is finally repaired.
Like, we pay extra every month to make sure that the air conditioning is covered. What do I need to do?
When 6 News spoke to Katrina Jackson last week, she had already seen 2 contractors diagnose her AC unit, and the warranty company that sent them, First American Home Warranty, had also sent her 2 different email responses on the same day. One said they weren't covered, the other said the repair was approved. Jackson told us nothing had been repaired, and she was still getting different answers from customer service.
I don't know. I really don't know what to do. My daughter has a major surgery scheduled next week.
So we made calls and sent emails to First American until we got a response. They said they would look into it. The very next day, on Friday, Jackson got a call from AC contractor AirMax, who she says suddenly got approval for the job.
And he said, yep, they tried to get a hold of me and get everything in order, and they said that your air conditioner is now an emergency.
Jackson now has a brand new AC unit in her backyard, and it turns out it was just in time because her daughter Milana has cerebral palsy and has a major operation tomorrow.
And it was very important for me to get the air condition fixed before she goes into surgery, because she just needs a comfortable house. Everybody needs a comfortable house. Your house is supposed to be your safe haven.
Jackson would also like to know why it took the company so long to deal with the issue, but while we did ask First American several times, the company only responded by saying they aren't disclosing details on the claim and they were working towards an appropriate resolution. Jackson says she only got this resolution after she called 6 News.
They were giving me the runaround. They weren't helping me. Without your help, I wouldn't have gotten it fixed. I 100% believe that.
And Jackson's home was around 80 degrees when I left earlier today, but she'll be able to make it as cool as her daughter needs once she gets out of surgery. Chris?
That's really good news, Andrew. Thanks for staying with it on us. Another 6 Fix. Appreciate you.
Well, a Killeen family had been without their car for nearly 3 months after an issue at an oil change company. But after the family called 6 News, well, the company addressed it. Reporter Andrew Moore tells us how in today's 6 Fix.
Gabriel Davis took his Honda Civic to a Take 5 oil change all the way back in January. The car locked up on him 2 weeks later, and a mechanic said it looked like there was water in the oil. The car sat there for 2 months. The family texted back and forth with a manager at Take 5 about if they were going to get it fixed. But after we made some calls, well, Take 5 is now taking responsibility. Take 5's parent company, Driven Brands, said it's not clear if the oil change was actually responsible for the issue or not, but they said it was clear their former manager did not handle this correctly. The Davis family says a former Take 5 manager had claimed the company was at fault and would pay. And they showed me text messages from the manager where he asked for information and claimed he had sent this information to corporate. But later the family found out the manager was actually fired, and we found out the information was not sent to the parent company. After we showed the parent company, Driven Brands, those texts, they stepped in and helped the family out.
So they took responsibility for it, and they sent out the check to cover the entire rental fees and entire payment of the car to get fixed.
A Take 5 spokesperson told us last week, customer satisfaction is of the utmost importance to us at Take 5 Oil Change, and we take all customer claims seriously. We have offered to reimburse costs incurred by the customer to make up for the inconvenience experienced with this issue. Davis said it would have cost the family more than $9,000 to repair the car and another $9,000 to pay for their rental. But now all that is getting taken care of by Take 5, so the family is going to be able to use that money to pay for college instead. Davis starts his freshman year this fall. Jasmine?
In our top story tonight, a Temple family had a tree limb from an empty lot threatening their mom's home, and they were worried it was going to bring down their power lines.
When they couldn't get it off those power lines safely, well, they finally called 6 News and our young reporter, Andrew Moore, who's here to tell us what happened in this next 6 Fix. Andrew, tell us all about it.
Yeah, I was thrilled with that. The Turner family had called both the city and Oncor and was told policy prevented both from taking action. But when we explained to Oncor what was going on here, they made an exception and got the family some help.
See, the limb is a lot larger than that. It's as big as some trees. And the tree it's still attached to, if it breaks up there, then it's going to bring everything down.
Jason Turner found out this limb fell on the home of his 86-year-old mother yesterday. It was both on the power lines and on one end of the roof, but it came from a tree on the lot next door. He cut down what he could, but wasn't sure if it would stay up or not.
If we get a high wind, then it's probably going to be a problem.
Turner called both the City of Temple and Oncor, but neither would come out at first due to policy reasons. But he had one more shot.
I called you this morning and you showed up.
6 News reached back out to Oncor and sent pictures showing just how much of a jam the family was in. Oncor doesn't typically deal with lines between the home and the power pole, but in this case, they decided to make an exception. Just an hour and a half later, a journeyman service tech came out and removed the limb in less than an hour.
Got out his chainsaw pole saw. I was doing it with a little handsaw. So he was able to shape it up real quick. And I'm grateful. I don't have to worry about Mom now.
Turner says thanks to a little communication and some neighborly help, a weight has now been lifted.
They stepped up, came on out, and did it. I'm proud of them. I am. I'm proud of you for helping us out.
Oncor did not have an official statement for us today, but said they were happy to help.